Evansville Sports 360 today, talking about a little bit different job. Normally we talk to baseball players, we talk to managers, we talk to coaches. We have an opportunity today to talk to a person who works in the clubhouse, the Clubhouse Manager. Is that your title?
That's my title.
Ben, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Nice to see you again.
Now, you're a longtime baseball fan as well.
Absolutely.
What's your team, by the way?
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
That was my very first game I ever went to growing up. So, St. Louis Cardinals fan till the day I die.
Favorite player?
Well, growing up it was Albert Pujols, but it's a little tough to cheer for him now. I still root for him, but a little tough to cheer for him now. So I guess I'd have to go probably Yadier Molina. He's a pretty common household name, but you definitely have to respect his game. Yeah,
he's a great catcher, probably one of the best that's played in my lifetime. So let's talk a little bit about your job. What is your day like as a clubhouse manager? So, you get up in the morning, the alarm clock goes off, and, as Bill said, woke up, fell out of bed.
Yeah. So luckily for me, my alarm clock's not ringing until about noon because I typically don't get out of the stadiums about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I get to the stadium on a regular day about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The day is always changing, always something new, always a different request by player or coach. When I first get here, I'm checking in with the players and coaches, making sure there's nothing they need for that particular day to essentially be successful in the field. That's my job. I want to make sure they can be successful in the field. They have everything they need to ultimately move up to higher baseball. So then once I get done checking with them, I'm helping set up the pregame meals, helping get the towels clean, get the uniforms scrubbed up that weren't finished from the night before, just kind of get that finishing touch on them so they're that perfect white, so that when the fans come they have to see that white uniform. But then yeah, just popping in here, there, and everywhere, just making sure that the guys have all the equipment they need, having everything they need to be successful here in Evansville.
Okay, I got to ask you, because this is one of the things for a long time we've talked about. I go out, I work for a living, I do house cleaning. I get a stain. I get a stain in my clothes or whatever, and these guys are diving on dirt and grass. How in the world are you guys getting out those stains that like the average person can't?
I will tell you, a baseball stain is so much different than just a regular stain that you would get at home by just dropping a piece of food or like some ketchup that might fall on a shirt or something like that. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, funny story, Boots Day, it seems like every year he has something he drops on his pants that I happen to get out. But no, back to your question, just getting that baseball dirt out, I've tested, I can't tell you how many things, just trying to find the perfect thing that ultimately is less time consuming for me so I can keep going a little faster each and every day. But I found that Fell's Naphtha, a laundry bar, just douse the pants down, get them as wet as possible, use that bar to just scrub on them and then throw them in the washer and they're good to go.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would have never thought that. So now what do the players get for a pre and a post game meal?
So for a pregame, we actually have a family, the Healy's. They've been helping us out every day beforehand. They've been helping make meals. They do a wonderful job helping the team out. They cater for both the home and the visiting team. So I come in contact with them. They make the food, they bring it, and then I set it up and make sure they have all the utensils they need before the game. For afterwards, we have several businesses that cater through the Evansville market. Okay. One of them actually is right across the street, the Hickory Pit.
Oh, we're familiar with them.
Great barbecue. The team seems to like them. So it kind of varies each and every night, but again, just at night, usually just a lot of different businesses that we'll just get to come in, they'll donate food, usually through sponsorship, and they'll take care of the team then.
So now as the game's going on, what are you doing? So they're out there, players are going on, and we're all out here cheering. So what are you doing at this point?
During the game, that's kind of my time I can breathe. I like to joke. The longtime running clubby for the Otters, Sam Hartsfield, he called them a daycare. That's what they are. It's a daycare, and by the time the game's going, when the daycare is on the field, they're no longer my responsibility. They are now the coaches and the umpires, their duties. So I'm underneath, I'm trying to vacuum, clean tables, just wiping every surface you can down, because you don't want guys to get sick. You want to keep it ultimately clean for the ball players. So wiping stuff down, throwing towels in, throwing personals in, stuff that they got dirty through BP. So getting all that stuff washed up and ready for either after the game or for the next day, just to kind of help get caught ahead then for the following day then. So I may have a couple innings to actually sit down and relax, but other than that, I'm typically moving somewhere around here.
So now this will be a bad impression, but all of a sudden, you're kind of, maybe you're not watching the game or you're in the back, and all of a sudden you hear, and we have a winner, Otters win. So you hear this go off, and players are getting ready to come in. So what happens with you?
So that's I have to be careful where I'm at when I hear Zane's voice saying that, because if I'm all the way behind the outfield wall for some odd reason, then I got to make a dead sprint to the back of the clubhouse. So I'm getting my butt back here, check on the umpires. I usually check on them beforehand, but also check on them afterwards, make sure their food's okay, see if they want anything washed for after the game. Then after that, making my way to the clubhouse, making sure they have enough food for after the game. Then ultimately starting on the uniforms, getting them cleaned up, getting their personals washed up for the very next day. And just, again, ultimately checking on them and the players and coaches, just making sure they see if they need anything, just make sure they're okay for that night then.
And your night pretty much typically ends about when?
About 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Just kind of depends on how long the game goes. Actually, a couple years back, we had a doubleheader that didn't get done until about 2:30 in the morning. So I remember getting out of here at 5:30 a.m. My dad's leaving for work, and he's like, "Where have you been all night?" And it wasn't a very good conversation, but he understood once I explained the situation.
Last question what's your most memorable moment of your time working with the Otters?
Gosh, I could give the easy answer and just say probably the 2016 championship, because I mean that was the only championship I've been a part of here with the Otters. Being able to ultimately celebrate with the team in the clubhouse. I did travel through the entire postseason with them.
Nice.
So the divisional round, the championship series. I mean that was a great time here with the Otters. But I would say just favorite parts, just coming to the ball field every day. I love baseball history. So being in a stadium that's 100 years old, just being able to soak all that in, I think it's something that the city of Evansville just kind of takes for granted. And then on top of that, being able to interact with the players, just being able to talk to them, see where their past was, what affiliated team they were with, why they're here, what they're trying to accomplish here, what's life like at home, what do they do during the offseason. I mean, just talking to them, building relationships with them. And I mean, there's still a lot of guys that we had 4 or 5 years ago that I'll still keep in contact with and still talk to.
That's really cool.
Either during the season, during the off season. So I mean, just building those relationships, staying in contact with those guys. I mean, it's one of the best parts of the job.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Ben, I want to thank you so much for your time. And I hope that, for those that watch us, understand it was a thing that we were interested in, because it's like, what's the clubhouse guy do, And we're really happy to talk to Ben, to hear his side of the job, what he does. And it's glad also to know that you're an avid baseball fan. Even though you're a Cardinal fan, I forgive you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Evansville Sports 360.